Welcome to the first episode of our Tishimike podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Bosso, with
Skinnyuglyboy. We've kept you guys waiting for a minute now, but he's finally here. You know what's going on?
Hey, bro. So, anyway. It's crazy. I was supposed to drop this episode earlier, man.
Yeah, bro, the build up to this has been crazy, I won't lie.
And
I was low-key giving hope at some point because I really thought we wouldn't secure the venue and whatnot, but thankfully it worked out in the end.
I was crazy getting the same venue, man. Bro.
Yeah, bro. But anyways, random question, man.
Oh, man.
Long hair or short hair for guys?
Personally, you know, I'd go with long hair, but I feel short hair has got like a cleaner look.
Yeah.
But then, problem is maintaining short hair, man. People actually sleep on the fact that short hair is expensive to keep.
To maintain.
Yeah.
And I feel like long hair is more expensive to maintain, man. I feel like short hair is easier to maintain than long hair. And I feel like short hair all the way because I feel like girls are more into guys with like a clean look.
Short hair.
Yeah.
But you know, the niggas that have like a clean look with
Long hair.
yeah.
But there's just something about short hair, bro. I won't lie.
But maintenance, man, like the price, bro. Like, okay, think about it, you know. Let me give an example of my hair, man. My hair is like, it grows really fast, yeah, in a very short period of time. So meaning, if I'm getting a haircut, I'm getting a haircut like in a period of the week. See, like that's every weekend, man. And imagine how much a haircut. I mean, here it's cheap, but let's go home, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Haircut's like, I swear, man, I swear. Because here, haircut's like 15 kwacha, man.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I go home, like a regular haircut is like 50.
Yeah.
That's like the most affordable haircut. And then, you know, if I want to like go all out, it's like 100, 150. I imagine I'm coughing 150 like every
time.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
Son, nah.
But I feel like, I don't know, man. Long hair comes with its own things. Like you have to get conditioner, you have to get shampoo, you have to like do retwists from time to time.
But don't you think that varies? Like, let's say short hair, like mostly people don't go for free form, like, you know, you're just keeping your hair, you're just brushing it. Most people have waves, they like dye it. So regardless, man, you're still buying products
at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I feel short hair is a bit more expensive to keep. So if I feel short hair that's not styled is easier to keep, and then longer hair, that's like styled, or that's not styled, so to say, is cheaper. I think cheaper or more expensive. Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, which side are you on? Long hair, short hair?
I mean, bro, short hair all the way, man.
All the way?
I know I'm scruffy right now, but
scruffy as hell.
Short hair all the way, bro.
I think I should get you a brush or something, man.
I do have a brush, man. So, I don't know, man. Like, combing my hair has been a pressure, man. My queen complains. But, I mean, I literally cut my hair because I couldn't comb it, man.
Yeah, you know one crazy thing I discovered about hair?
No, man.
I feel like if you've got a big forehead, because I've got a big forehead.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you've got a big forehead, it's better to like have short hair than longer hair. Like I just noticed this when I was going through my chat with my best friend. So like I was looking at some of my voice notes from like a few months back when I was trying to do the whole Afro thing.
Yeah.
And so like when you get a retouch on your hairline and you've got an Afro, it makes your forehead stand out a little bit more. And then your head looks, I don't know, longer or bigger in a way.
Yeah. You know your hair gets pulled back like when you braid. You're braiding it?
No, it's not braiding. It was just growing it out like an Afro.
Yeah, but like mostly when like growing out an Afro, you prefer to like braid it so that, you know, you stretch your hair so that it grows.
Yeah.
And then when you braid it and unbraid, your forehead like kind of, you know, like pops out more. It's like it pulls back your hair, man.
Yeah.
But if I'm picking sides, I think I would go for short, man. You're right. Females actually do dig the cleaner look. And short is kind of cleaner
than long hair.
Yeah.
I feel like with long hair anyway, if you do like a tapered hairline and braids, it does look clean.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look clean for like a long period of time. You still have to get a retouch on the hairline from time to time.
Yeah, so that's
you have to get a retwist. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's shorter hair over longer hair any day of the week.
So would you say that that's because like because the females like it.
I feel like girls are more into guys with shorter hair. Like from my personal experience, I've gotten like more compliments when I get a trim, like a short trim, compared to when I'm trying to grow out my hair, regardless of what I try to do. Or maybe I'm just not doing the right thing. Man.
I feel maybe maybe it was the way you were keeping it. Maybe when your hair was longer,
Yeah.
it wasn't a clean, long look. You feel so.
What are you trying to say?
No, look, I'm not saying you were dirty or anything. But like, what I'm saying is, I mean, I saw you in long hair, man. It wasn't the best of looks.
What
like,
the hell, man?
Naruto, man. I mean,
Anyways, no offense taken.
But my question was, your basis of like your look, is it because the females dig it, or like because you know you're trying to look for a long, like a cleaner look personally, or it's you know because you're looking for public?
Okay, so for me, how can I say this, man? When I was growing out my hair, it was looking good until like 6 months into it, it started looking a little bit. It just wasn't clean, man. Like, so I decided to get a short trim, and then like with time, after looking at like my photos from the past and like making comparisons with my recent photos, I felt like I look better with short hair. Yeah, but anyways, the plus side of that is the girls like it as well. So
you know, personally, I think I've never. I do stuff for the female, like when it comes to looks, but then I think when it comes to hair, man, it's more what I'm comfortable with. Yeah, because remember the last time, I mean, I just keep hair, like a lot of hair, man. And then I personally just chose cut my hair because I felt I couldn't maintain that look on my own. I still receive compliments either ways, like long hair, short hair, but short hair does come with more compliments. I mean, because it's a longer look, and I feel it's more of like some sort of stereotype, you know, black guys with short hair.
Especially if you've got waves.
Tall, waves, dark. You know, like that's what I'm saying. It's like some sort of stereotype that females also have towards certain people, man. I feel like when you keep hair, they think you're dirty or you know you smoke. Really, like for me, man, look at my lips. Everybody looks at me and they're like, I know this nigga smokes, you know, look at his hair,
whatnot.
Stuff like, especially parents. Parents also have that
experience, bro.
Yeah, you know, talking about parents, man.
I feel like my mom's been on my case about my hair for the longest period of time. And you know, like I'm just happy that right now I'm in a place where I agree with her on the fact that shorter hair, for me, I'm speaking for myself by the way, not for everyone. Shorter hair is better than longer hair. I feel like I never used to maintain it well anyway. And shorter hair is easier to maintain, so that's what I've been going with of late.
You know, even if I said, like in the beginning when I said, no, it's personal and whatnot, I also went for the shorter hair look because I realized, I think that was like in 2023. I was working for ECZ. I did some short, it was like 3 months. Some 3 months contract there as a seasonal clerk. So when I went there, I had like a span of hair, man, like I had a lot of hair. And then, you know, people still like that look, you know, and I get like a taper, low taper, it was cool. But then when I cut my hair short, you know, it was the attention I got, man, like everybody was like, no, you should keep doing that. So I do prefer shorter hair as well. I think it's a dope look, but I just don't like how parents would like give some sort of, you know, image towards longer hair. Like, you know, it's like we've grown up with a certain way, like a certain way in which they view things. They think if you keep longer hair, you're rebellious.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, so I don't like that.
I feel like it's like society in our country anyway. Like in Africa, generally speaking. But you know, the crazy part about all this is how, like, when our parents were growing up, they used to keep long hair, man. Like, I've seen photos of my dad from the bills. He had an afro, bro. Then I'm like, why is it an issue if I'm doing it? Like, if I want to grow out my hair, why should it be an issue? Sorry. Stuff like that.
No, because I remember we actually had an argument with my uncle and my dad, like about hair. No, my dad like came to agree with me, like later on. So I had braids, like I I had like an afro. I did the braids. You know, when my aunt came, I was actually involved in an accident. So it became a story for another day. So, my aunt came to visit me with my other aunt, and then she's like, what's up with that in your head? I'm like, what do you mean? She's
What's
like,
up with that?
I'm like, I'm trying to outgrow my hair. Like, I want to outgrow it. She's like, no, you know, the people that do that are like, you know, people who are, you know, like queer people, you know,
like
people
that,
of the community. Yeah. So then I asked them, I was like, so when you people like someone like that, like with longer hair, do you think that's, or with braids, like, does it mean that's what determines somebody's sexuality, or, you know, like a certain way you're supposed to look at them? You actually have to like know the person for you to know who they are. You know, like it's how parents talk about not judging people, but you know, the first people to judge, to backlash like from other people's parents, man. If you come knocking, they look at you, but then when they actually get to have a conversation with me, they get surprised saying this person actually has like an open mind.
It's just chill stuff.
It's calm. So yeah, we have, I think personally, just like as Zambians, we have that thing of judging before
you actually get to know the person.
Yeah, even if people, I'm sure people would disagree with what I'm saying, but like enough people do that. Like before getting to know a person, they judge you according to the way you look.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to dye your hair?
Yeah, I did. I didn't work out, man. Like I don't know, my hair is very stubborn. It's very dark. Like I got very dark hair. So I tried dyeing it. The dye was in patches. It didn't necessarily come out like a full blonde dye. So I was told I'm supposed to bleach it.
Did you dye it yourself, or did you have someone do it for you?
It was funny, man. Like I was in the 9th grade, man. Like what?
Wait, so your parents are chill, man. I have to say, because like I feel like most parents wouldn't allow their kid to dye their hair in the 9th grade.
Bro, my dad's like the strictest, man.
How did you manage that, bro?
You know, so it was like I was in boarding school, man. Like I was in boarding school. I'm sure I don't know if you've heard of Chasa, just secondary school. So yeah, so I was at Chasa secondary school like from 8 to 12. So in the 9th grade, we had holiday tuitions. You know, during the holiday, we would stay in school. Yeah. So during that time, you know, like, you know what, let's try out new stuff. You know, other people like started drinking, others were smoking. You know, I wanted to braid my hair. So I'm like, okay, no, let me braid my hair. And then my friend Mike was like, bro, no, let's dye our hair. I'm like, bet. So I tried, man.
Yeah.
I tried, bro, I had to go bold, man.
Very chill. I don't like what this is going.
No, I swear, man. I swear, I had to go bold, bro.
Yeah.
I'd go bold because like the dye didn't sit right in my head. It was like kind of everywhere was like patches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like my parents are strict, man. They would never allow me. My dad literally used to take me to the barber shop and like tell the barber man a specific haircut to like, you know, that I should get, man. Because the first time I got like a high fade.
Yeah.
I think we used to go like a table cut, you know, like back in the day.
Yeah.
So, a big boy. Yeah, man. Right, it was cool, man. So it's like, I came back from school, I had an afro. It was crazy, the whole keeping hair at school and whatnot. And then I'm like, you know what, when I go home, I'm getting that B-boy, man.
Yeah.
But deep cabin, I'm home now, it's a holiday. My dad gives me the money. You know, you take yourself to the barber shop, you're growing now. That was like in the 8th grade, man.
Yeah.
Right, go there, get a B-boy. This nigga. Because I went to these crusty barber shops, you know, just like some on China's like some ends also in the sunlight, one of those ends. So yeah, did by China, I think it was like 5. I think it was 5 kwacha.
5 kwacha. That time the economy was good anyway.
But the nigga didn't even fade me, man. It's like I was bored on one side, and then the other side I had like a fade.
That was mad.
That was crazy, man.
You know, I feel like my worst experience with the barber man was, so yeah, I was trying to get the same people haircut, bro. So like I see like some of my friends do it and it looked good. So I'm like, let me go try this out as well. So I asked for money from my mom, obviously. I think this was in like 7th grade. And this was the day before an athletics trip. Yeah. So I go to the barber shop. What was the name of the barber shop? I think it was Big Emma or something like that. So like this barber man, yeah, he's got this I think it's his signature haircut, bro. Like, I don't know what it's like the R9 haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like a lot of hair.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but his wasn't. Look, his wasn't that extra, bro. It was chill. Like for him, it really looked.
Wait. So you actually went go get the. Right?
No.
That was his haircut.
That was his haircut.
Oh, okay.
So when I told him, say Bibo, he does that to me, man. Like that's the trim he gave me, bro. And then I go back home, man. My mom doesn't say anything. Then my brother is just laughing. Then I'm like, this is my brother, so he's probably just hating, man.
I'm trying to imagine, man. Shit.
And then I go to school the next day. It's an athletics trip for crying out loud. You're supposed to look good because it's like inter-schools, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Because you're looking forward to like, obviously vibing like girls from other schools and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you go with the R9 trip.
You are the core school?
Sorry?
You are the core school?
Yeah.
School.
Yeah. I never went to boarding, so that was primary anyway.
Yeah.
So we go for this athletics trip, and my friends are laughing at me the whole time. And it was crazy. So then I came back the next day, and then because I was embarrassed, man. Yeah. So I go to my mom. I'm like, I'm kind of asking for money. I want to go get my hair cut again. So this is mad. And then she's like, no. I can't pay again. What do you mean? You want to get the trip?
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to use my own money. Luckily, I had like some money from the trip. Yeah, so I managed to get a retouch on the haircut, and then it was just a brush in the end. So, I mean, ever since that day, I think for like a couple more years, I never tried getting a b-boy again because it was just tragic.
Quick question: do you think you came off as like during your childhood, did you come off as a rebellious child, or maybe you were the goody two shoes, or listening to your parents and stuff?
Okay, as a child, I feel like I was very adventurous. I wouldn't say rebellious, bro, because it would be like adventurous and then a little bit too adventurous.
Yeah, bro. So do you think you came off as like the rebellious child? Like when you were a kid,
yeah,
a rebellious child, or maybe you were the goody two shoes, is listening to your parents,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was very obedient, man, because not necessarily because my parents were strict or anything. My parents were very chill,
yeah,
and they would let me be adventurous anyway. But then when I was too adventurous, they would quickly step in and like tell you, yeah, with the ass whooping, obviously, bring you back to reality, bro. Like you're doing too much. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's really important anyway. I feel like that's one thing that like new parents are lacking. The ability to just give a kid that ass whooping, like
I feel the whole aspect of removing that like physical discipline while you actually like beat a child. I feel it's really defeated. Kind of, how can I say it? Like obedience from kids, man. Yeah. Kids are able to like stand up to their parents now.
Even talking about
chat shit. Yeah, exactly. Because, bro, I remember I wouldn't say I was the goody two shoes. I'd be lying. I was the dangerous type and very rebellious. My parents were really good parents, man. Like they were strict parents. They would equally step in. Now, my dad was that kind of a person where he would tell you, saying, I want you to stay in the house from Monday to Friday. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that used to I live in a camp.
I get what you mean.
It's that thing where in the house, you're watching your friends out the window, they're playing. As a kid, man, it's just kind of your nature to rebel. I'm sure that people that did fight that whole, seeing your friends and whatnot, staying in the house. But yeah, for me, I was very easily influenced, man. Like if I see my friends outside,
you easily step out.
Yeah. So my dad would really give me like a decent ass whipping.
Yeah. But I feel like parents should really let their children go out there.
Yeah.
But then before that, I feel like it's really important for the child to know what's wrong and what's right. So if you tell the child, say, come home before 16, stuff and if they come home beyond that time, obviously you step in and correct the situation.
Yeah.
But I feel like they shouldn't be so restrictive in a way and just depriving their children of having an actual childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
For me, what I feel is the problem is if you're too strict, because listen, the parents that don't have time to like actually sit down with their kids, have dialogue conversations with them.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for you to control a person that doesn't necessarily listen to you, but like just follows commands. So that's where kids tend to go wrong. Because if you bring up a kid in a manner like that, I feel that's what like brings out rebellion in kids.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, growing up like with my dad, we'd like really get along. My dad would like take me out and stuff like that. But then as I started growing, I started reaching like 8, 9, it changed. It wasn't like we're actually talking. It's more like, just do this, you don't do this, I whoop your ass. Like it was that kind of a situation. So when I went in the 8th grade, I feel that's why I became a bit of a problem because
I feel like
I was constrained.
Sorry to cut you short, but I feel like that's where everyone, because I feel like that's why everyone becomes a problem to some degree, because you're transitioning from primary school into secondary school, and then you've got all these characters in secondary school, man.
Exactly.
And then your teachers are not going to be as strict with certain things, and you're just free to a certain degree. So I feel like that's why most people really become rebellious.
Yeah, because it's like, I can give an example of my experience. Starting in a constrained environment. So when I went from home to school, it was like a whole different place. I saw different people, interacting with different people, getting intimidated, you intimidating other people. So I like, it was like a newfound freedom, man. Like, if I choose to smoke today, Dad won't say anything. Or if like I choose to drink, because some people are just like go, sorry to disclose this, but people that used to go for prostitutes like as early as the 9th grade at school, man. Yeah, our school was crazy. Like it was.
You went to, where was your school situated? Was it like close to a town, or was it like in the bush?
I was in the bush. Because honestly, our teachers really.
Wait, chill.
Man. It was in the bush.
Like where did the prostitutes come from?
Bruh, I don't know how familiar you are with like Eastern Province, man.
I've never been to Eastern Province.
So at some point, actually, in Zambia, Sinda had the highest HIV rate, man. So like for our school, our teachers were really good, man. Especially the deputy that we had, Mr. What's his name again? He's going like he had some French and some lisp. He had the lisp and some French items. So he's going like je, because he said like je book. So we got the je, and like that's how he's supposed to be like. He's going je. That was like our deputy, man. So it was really strict.
Yeah.
But niggas were just stupid, man. Niggas couldn't hold themselves. The fact that we're like a single-sex school.
Yeah.
So it's either, it's either you fap or like you're gay or like you go for hoes, man. Like that's how people preach the whole situation. But anyway, like not to take you further, like, into that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is it was just crazy that I got exposed to like a new environment where I wasn't really controlled. And then, there were all these constraints that were like lifted, and now I have this newfound freedom. So I was like at liberty of doing anything I want to, man. But at the end of the day, it's like your choice. See, that's why it's good when you have conversations with your parents.
Yeah.
If your parents stay saying, George, don't go outside, or like, William, don't go outside, and then they actually explain to you about the stuff that's outside, it's good. But then in a situation where your parents are like, yo, William, don't go outside.
Go outside without
they don't necessarily tell you what it is. When you're exposed to places like this, like university, like where we're in university now, it makes kids or like, individuals just indulge in things that, that aren't good because of the environment and how you've been brought up.
One thing that I feel is really important is like setting a good foundation in a child. I feel like that's why, like when I look at my upbringing, I feel like that's why it's really important for parents to take their kids to church every Sunday, bro. Like put your kids into Sunday school and stuff. Like that stuff really helps out. When I look at like how I've grown up anyway, my parents were like really, really strict on that stuff. Like you try to come up with excuses not to go to church on a Sunday, and then obviously you get you'd get beaten for that because what do you mean you don't go to church? You don't know what's good for you. And then, like later on in life anyway, they became less strict on it. Because like you're growing up, so like you get to decide what you feel is important for you. But then with a good foundation, when you're getting exposed to like the real world and what the bad things that are in it, I feel like it won't take someone else having to tell you to say, don't do this and don't do that. Because you have it in you. You know to say this is wrong and this is right. So in that way you just restrict yourself from certain things.
Sorry to like disturb you, but I feel with the way society is now, they're really trying to bring in this whole freedom thing, which is like kind of putting parents at a disadvantage. It's very difficult to mold children if they feel like they're being controlled. So if a child is able to understand the fact that the parent is trying to help them, it's better. Like the way we grew up, see, it was strict at our time. We understood saying if you do this, you get an ass whooping, you get you get punished. But kids now, you give them an ass whooping, they go report you for GBV. Or I don't know if it's like child something. I want crime.
Never do I, but anyway,
So the fact that molding a kid has really been taken out is what's really messed up with the foundation. Because personally, I mean, I would be lying if I say my parents were those people that would be like, no, let's go to church on Sunday. My mom is very strict about church. So she would do that. She used to do that like when I was a kid. But with time, I went to Catholic school, so I ended up changing. My mom's new apostolic. I ended up going to Catholic school. When I went home, I was going to a Catholic church, so I didn't really go to church. But then, see, with time, I feel you start building up that thing on your own, though it's really not that good because other people don't manage to do that. They don't manage to build up sort of religious background because of maybe the way they were brought up. But like, it's us, maybe there's certain things that you've been exposed to, so it just clicks in your head saying, I think, let me like indulge in like religious activities, get to know Christ more and stuff like that. So the child foundations are really important. Like laying out that appropriate foundation is really important. But I feel with the way society is now, it's difficult for parents to like mold their kids into people they would want to be proud of in future. Because children are more at liberty now of doing whatever they want. I mean, let's look at, what can I give an example? Children what time do we get our rages at what age? 16?
16.
16. So you get the rage at 16. A child already thinks they've reached in life. People are going to university at the age of like 16 now. So, when they come here or they know it's sex, drinking, what, because of that whole idea they've been given saying, you're supposed to be free, you're supposed to make your own choices, the whole trans thing now, you see like a child's born and then they're telling you saying you have liberty of picking your gender. Like, what's that?
That's
See, we were never born in an era like that. We were born, you're a boy. Like, you're a boy,
I feel like it's getting trickier now, bro. With a lot of, even in Africa now, bro, like with a lot of influence from the West and whatnot. And like one thing, I know this is just random, but like one thing that I find funny is how you ask someone their name, So like most of us have like 3 names. So like you have your first name, your middle name, and your surname. And say you're asking someone their name, then the person is like, also like my name is William. So like William Kawekawina. So I'll be like, no, my name is William, and then my traditional name is Kawe. Like most people, it's like they're low-key neglecting their traditional name. It doesn't make sense.
I feel it's that thing where we're trying more to like embrace the Western culture, instead of like actually just taking up our own like native behavior, so to say. Because it's like that whole thing where you think, it's cool. My name is George. So I'm George Chiwe Bosso, and I would definitely go for the George because it's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, you feel like it's cool.
Yeah, I think I'm not necessarily saying that I think it's cool, but I'm just saying like people would like definitely go for the George, thinking it's cool, not wanting like trying to neglect the cultural side of everything. It's how people can't even speak vernacular anymore.
Wait, chill.
I know you can't speak any local
No, you're
language
going
like appropriately,
no,
man.
it's not that I can't speak, bro. Okay, for me it was a situation where I went to.
Bro, what do you mean you can? Okay. Before you even go further, just utter one sentence, bro. One sentence.
Vernacular.
Yeah, like in proper vernacular, man.
You know what? Okay, this is a sentence. What?
You even have to think, bro.
No, chill.
You even have to think.
This is something that my roommate is telling me, man. Nizakumenya. That's a sentence. Yeah. Is that the word?
Bro, what do you mean, man? And I can't even laugh, man. That's what's supposed to be funny, bro.
No, chill. Okay, let me speak Bemba. I'm from Kopa.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Let me sentence in Bemba.
Uh-huh.
But you know, like one thing that's really obvious is my accent, bro. Like that's like I'm not confident.
I think that's how everybody is, man.
No, chill. I'm not confident in my vernacular because of my accent, bro.
Yeah.
So look, I went to a school where we were not allowed to speak Bemba. It was a private school anyway, so we weren't allowed to speak vernacular language unless we're like having a lesson in the language. Then we'd be allowed to speak. Yeah. So it was crazy, man. So back home, my parents are teachers, by the way. So they'd always use English because they want us to get good at English. So the only Bemba out here would be when my parents are on phone calls and whatnot, stuff like that. So you know, I understand Bemba very well. I think, I'm not sure. When I try to speak, I can construct sentences and whatnot, but then my accent is off.
Bro, I think that's like how it is for everybody, man. Because I mean, even if I laughed at you saying no, you can't construct the sentence properly. I mean, I'm Bemba, so I can't.
You know how to speak Bemba?
See, at least I can speak a local language, man. Like,
but you speak Nyanja?
I can speak Nyanja. I'm very fluent in Nyanja.
See?
So I can speak.
Okay, anyways,
Nyanja.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
At least you can speak Nyanja, bro. But like, mine is a sad story. But no, just give me 2 weeks, man.
No, but, bro,
2 weeks.
How long have you been here, man? What do you mean 2 weeks, bro? You've been with your roommates for like a month or...
No.
Actually, like more than a month, man. You've been here for more than 3 months.
Look, okay, no, chill.
Hey.
What I'm trying to say is, I'll start speaking Bemba fluently, in like 2 weeks, bro. I'll be practicing on a daily. Next episode is going to be in Bemba, bro. And since you're Bemba, you should know how to speak Bemba, man.
Bro, I think that whole Bemba thing. Hopefully, though the whole Bemba thing, bro. Just take that thing out. Take that thing out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're even, like.
Yeah, we've been at it for a minute.
Yeah, man. We literally chatted about like the whole hair thing.
Yeah.
Parenting, how school was crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what advice would you give the parents, like the new parents out there?
The new parents out there.
Looking at the whole generation Z now that we have. Is it Gen X, Gen Z? Which one is it now? What do you show up, bro?
Anyways, new parents out there, give these kids a beating from time to time. It's needed, bro. Yeah. You know, like, what's to say? Spare the rod, you spoil the child. So like it's needed, bro. I know you love. If you love the kid, you're going to give them the ass whooping from time to time. Obviously, when they are not in the right and when they are going astray, just to bring them back, bring them back to reality. Give them the beating. What would you say to the new parents out there?
Minus the whole beating thing. I mean, I feel it is really important.
Yeah.
But I feel parents should actually like take time and like have dialogue conversations with their kids, actually get to know what they're going through, like looking at the way time is moving, the new problems that are rising, anxiety levels are high. I know mental health is like the literally talked about topic all the time, like on these podcasts,
stuff like that.
Stuff like that, yeah. But it really is a pressing issue. So I think parents should actually talk to their kids, have time to have conversations with them, understand what they're going through and what they're coming from, so that even when they want to like inflict that punishment, they know saying they at least did try to conversate with their kids.
Yeah. I feel like that's one notion that really has to be taken away from African society.
Yeah.
Because most of us growing up were not very free with our parents.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't talk about certain things. Yeah. And I feel like if you could talk about like really pressing issues, it would really help. Yeah, I feel like a lot of beatings would be spared anyways. Even though I was encouraging that, but a lot of beatings would really be spared. Chat to the kids a lot more.
Anyway, it was a really fun chat, bro. Like, it was crazy. This had to be like, done today. But it was a dope episode, bro. Thanks for having us, guys. This is a Tishimike podcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe the pages on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. This is Skinnyuglyboy and
Bosso.
Check you out.
Safe.